Today is my 30th birthday, and as I reflect on 30 years of life that has been given to me, naturally it led me to thinking about a game to cover to fill this celebratory party occasion. Of course, there's one series that springs to mind, and so for today's review, let's take a look at the second of the Mario Party series of games. When the first Mario Party landed on the N64, I think it took most of us by surprise just how good the game actually was. Board games had never sold well on the console, and with the injection of the Mario magic and a whole host of minigames, it made Hudson's first foray a smash hit, and one of the most definitive multiplayer experiences on the console. To follow up this success would be a huge task, but Nintendo once again trusted Hudson with their most sacred characters to develop Mario Party 2, a direct sequel to the original, but with an entire new set of boards and minigames to play through. If you love the first Mario Party, then getting this game is a no-brainer. Rather than trying to do everything majorly differently, Mario Party 2 is more of the same, with many of the same issues from the first game ironed out. The story begins as Mario unveils a brand new land which is being created, and he attempts to call it Mario Land. Naturally, Wario wasn't happy about this, and so attempts to rename it Wario Land. After a scuffle between our characters, Princess Peach tries to make sense and just name it after herself. With nobody letting up, Bowser makes his appearance and takes over the land, leaving the characters to agree that whoever can vanquish Bowser can decide on the name of the new land, and so off they go to do just that. So the core gameplay remains the same. You pick one of your favourite Nintendo characters and select one of the game's new boards to play on, which have all got brand new themes compared to its predecessor. I personally really like the board themes in this game. There are 5 due to play through, and one final one which will let you unlock yourselves. You have everything from Spaceland to Mysteryland, Horrorland to a Wild Western one. In a nice touch, the characters also dress up in suitable costumes before each board begins. Whilst it doesn't change the gameplay at all, it does bring the character's look into fitting with the style of the board. The boards themselves retain the difficulty levels of the previous game. The harder the star difficulty level, the more switches, blocks and obstacles you'll find on the game board. The higher the difficulty boards often see you having to collect items to aid in your progression and use items to reach different areas of the board. Speaking of items, there are a nice selection to get, such as mushrooms which give you additional rolls of the dice, and keys which you'll need to unlock gates. There are also 3 items which can only be obtained in minigames, and these are generally issued to harass your opponents. But as any Mario Party player will know, the board game aspect is just one of the overall game's mechanics. The minigames are where the game really comes to life. Whereas Mario Party 1 had 56 minigames, Mario Party 2 ups this to 64 minigames, with 40 of them being brand new. You'll be pleased to know that the ones which have been brought forward from Mario Party 1 are the best selection. This time around though, in a move which will no doubt have been suggested by Nintendo themselves, all of the minigames which involve you rotating the analog stick quickly have been taken out. It's no surprise this was the case, as Mario Party 1 was no doubt the game which killed more N64 controllers than any other game on the system. Not only that, but it caused blisters on the palms of many gamers' hands across the world. My biggest negative against the game is the fact it really is just a game for multiplayer. Whilst you can play it on your own, the fun really is limited, as you get little satisfaction from beating computer opponents. Add a friend or 3 and the entire game changes, as having competition in the same room makes this game a total blast to play. The sound is also somewhat disappointing. The music does the job perfectly well, but being neither a distraction or very catchy, it is when you spend so long playing each game that you'll really begin to notice this, and it would have been nice to have had something a little bit more memorable. The same too can be said for the graphics. Whilst it's not a bad looking game, it lacks that little bit of polish that you'd have hoped for. It uses the same engine as the first Mario Party, and so the texture quality is honest, but this isn't a game which pushes the console anywhere near its limits. At the end of the day though, the easiest way to sum up Mario Party 2 is that it's more of the same. If you loved Mario Party 1, then you'd have no doubt picked this up day one, and if you didn't like the original, then there's nothing really here that will change your mind on the series. But that's okay, because those of us who love the first game, then you'll have exactly what you'd been wanting. New boards, even more mini games, and a wider variety of them, and another chance to get friends and family around the console for some good honest fun. It's not a game you can pick up and play for half an hour, But with friends, that's a good thing, because the more time you have playing the game, it's just more quality time with the people that you care about. So let me know your memories of Mario Party 2. I want to hear your stories of who you played the game with and why you did or didn't pick this game up on its launch. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below, and until next time.